Everybody, welcome back to this video. This is the follow-up video to the Longevity Scorecard. If you haven't watched that video, go ahead and watch that. This is a more advanced version. This is called the Longevity Catalyst Scorecard, and it has a different focus. Look at the title here. Stop guessing about longevity, start focusing. The path to a longer, healthier life isn't about doing everything. It's about doing the right thing for you right now. Find out what your number one longevity focus is in 3 minutes by taking this free assessment called the Longevity Catalyst Scorecard. That's what this is all about. Right, just going to scroll down here a bit. This graph is on my website. The longevity crisis is here. This is what I wrote this. This is part of a website I've put together. And the Longevity Scorecard Catalyst or the Longevity Catalyst Scorecard is coming out very soon as I record this. If the link to it isn't in the first comment, then direct message me because it is coming out about a week after we post this video. We are drowning in conflicting health advice, leaving us confused and paralyzed. While we chase the next superfood or biohack, a silent epidemic is unfolding. By 40, most adults, have developed a chronic disease and continue to every decade. Illnesses like heart disease and diabetes grow silently over time. The map that we've been given, this is my supposition, my argument, my position, the map we've been given is wrong. But the good news is when a person raises their oxygen efficiency score, they can build the defense system against the big four chronic diseases. So the big four are the first ones down the side of this tab here: poor metabolic health, high cholesterol, cancer, dementia, and Alzheimer's. And I put this one down the bottom for people who might be tuning in: mobility loss and fractures, because people are tuning in who are 65 and over. That's one of the biggest causes of injury and also death. A lot of people who have mobility loss and fractures don't ever recover from it. So when you come to this scorecard, before you take the free assessment, you could click on this box, poor metabolic health, and you can learn all about what that actually means. I'm not going to go through that right now. You can click on the high cholesterol and blood pressure box, and there's an animation here, and there's some content that tells you what this tracking your health in real time is all about. Then there's one for cancer, dementia, and Alzheimer's as well. So the question when you come here is, this is where the Longevity Catalyst Scorecard is more advanced than the previous video where it's called the Longevity Scorecard. Which longevity pathway will you take? Will you tackle the metabolic weight loss, the metabolic roadblocks to sustainable weight loss? A lot of people watching this video, that's their biggest challenge in longevity, is how do I overcome that problem, weight loss? Some people have someone I know recently who's in their late 30s, got children, married, had a heart attack, had stents put inside their body. A lot of people are at a heart attack and stroke risk and have had a family history, and they want to reduce their risk of that ever happening to them. That's me, I'm in that category. And they would choose that pathway in this scorecard. So you're going to get the opportunity to choose one of the 4 pathways when you take the free assessment. High blood sugar. Some people need to regain control of their energy and reverse the path towards type 2 diabetes. And some people need to tackle something called metabolic syndrome. That's a cluster of conditions that shows you're having a failing metabolism. So you get to choose in a second which one of those that you're going to take part in with this scorecard system. All of it is based on what you see in front of you right now. My upcoming being released in April of 2026, but there's a pre-release. And once you take this assessment, you can get onto the pre-release list if you like, so the wait list. So April 2026, I turn 60 years of age. I have this book already written. It's with the publishers, getting fine-tuned. Learn how to become a longevity builder, the one science-based tactic to radically extend your life and why it's more simpler than you think. So that's part of the learning ecosystem. There's an audio version of the book, an interactive online version. That's a really cool brand new learning technology that I've developed as an educator to go with the book. Plus, I've developed with a software team the Longevity Builder Health Lab to track longevity in real time. So this assessment is based on the content in the book. So let's do this. Let's start the free assessment now. What's your number one health priority? Select the area that you feel most urgent to you right now. This will tailor the assessment to your unique needs. Depending on which of these you choose, you'll get 16 different questions compared to the other person who chooses a different strand, if you like. So I'm going to choose heart attack and stroke risk because that's the one that's in my family. My father sadly passed away at age 46 from a massive heart attack. He had no idea or that it was coming. So let's go through these questions relatively quickly on the scorecard, and then you can come to it when you want to and when the link becomes available and take the assessment for yourself. This book, the book Longevity Builder I just showed you, describes a disease called atherosclerosis as a silent inflammatory war inside your arteries. How proactive are you about managing inflammation through your lifestyle? Not proactive at all. I think about it sometimes. I try to eat anti-inflammatory foods. Managing inflammation is a key part of my daily health strategy. Now, I'm just going to do this as an imaginary person, what I'd call the average person, the person who may not right now be into longevity building, but they're interested in the topic. That person, I think, I think they would choose this one. I think about it sometimes. All right. A high oxygen efficiency score, or VO2 max, helps your body to produce nitric oxide. It's a molecule in your bloodstream. So you get more of it when you have a high VO2 max. If you don't know what VO2 max or oxygen efficiency are, that's okay. Then you'll be able to answer this still. The nitric oxide makes your arteries more flexible. How often do you perform exercise, physical activity that leaves you breathing hard? Because that's what's going to raise your VO2 max score, and it's going to give you more nitric oxide in your body. Rarely or never, 1 to 2 times a week, 3 to 4 times a week, 5 or more times a week. Now, that's me in real life, the last one. Never used to be, but it is now. I think most people rarely or never, because the question is, how often do you perform exercise that leaves you breathing hard? Most people, rarely or never. It might not be you, but that's most people. My book explains that a high VO2 max can help the body grow new blood vessels, angiogenesis. It's a really cool process. How would you describe your commitment to challenging cardiovascular exercise? Low, I stick to gentle activity. Moderate, sometimes I push myself. High, I consistently include intense efforts. Very high, I see it as building my own biological bypasses. How cool is this? Your heart can grow more blood vessels so that if one gets blocked, it's got an alternative highway to go to. That's angiogenesis. Very cool process if you do the last, choose the last tab as a part of your life. Most people, lowest, moderate. Sometimes I push myself in this imaginary person who is interested in the topic of longevity building, but doesn't really do something about it just yet, but they want to find out more. Your heart's stroke volume, the amount of blood pumped per beat, improves with fitness. A strong heart doesn't have to work as hard. Do you know your resting heart rate? So a low resting heart rate means your heart's not working very hard. A higher resting heart rate means it's not pumping efficiently. So do you know your resting heart rate? No, I've never checked it. I've checked it, but I don't track it. Yes, and it's in the average range of 60 to 80 because that person tracks it if they chose that one. Yes, it's in the athletic range below 60. That's me. Mine's about 51 now these days, which I'm really happy with. A lot of people have checked it, but I don't track it. That's most people. The authors, that's me, the author of the book Longevity Builders, CAC score was 803. That's bad, by the way, not good. That's plaque. CAC is coronary artery calcium. That's the amount of plaque in my arteries. Bad, not a good score. Showing I have established disease. How aware are you of advanced heart screening tests beyond standard cholesterol panels? So I've told you a bit about it, but not much. So how aware are you of advanced heart screening tests? Not aware at all? I've heard some, but I don't know what they are. I know what a CAC or CTCA score is. I've discussed or had an advanced screening with my doctor. Most people not at all. That's my conversations with the average person, not aware of them at all. My book highlights something called APOB, a more accurate measure of disease risk than standard LDL or bad cholesterol. How familiar are you with your own advanced lipid numbers? Don't know my total cholesterol. I only know my total cholesterol, if that. I know my basic LDL and HDL numbers. That's LDL is low density lipoprotein. HDL is high density lipoprotein. So it's bad cholesterol, good cholesterol. I understand the importance of particle numbers like APOB. I know my APOB and my LP little a. I'm not going into that right now. It's another whole story. And manage my health accordingly. So I know these ones now. Most people, I only know my total cholesterol, if that. That's most people. Improving your oxygen efficiency has a more powerful effect on lowering your hazard ratio than if you were to control your bad cholesterol, LDL cholesterol. How does this fact influence your priorities? It doesn't. I'm still focused only on diet, medication for cholesterol. It makes me think I should exercise more. So if you have a high oxygen efficiency score, which you can incrementally increase very simply through the correct dose of physical activity, that's what the Longevity Builder ecosystem is all about. What's the correct dose for you? If you incrementally raise your oxygen efficiency score, it's way more powerful than if you change your LDL cholesterol. So it confirms that exercise needs to be a primary strategy for me. It has made improving my VO2 max my absolute #1 priority. That once you get through the book and get into the actual Longevity Builder Health Lab, that's my goal, is that last one for you. But let's choose number 2. It makes me think I should exercise more. High blood pressure is the silent hammer on your arteries. Which statement best describes your approach to blood pressure management? I don't know my blood pressure. I know my number, but I don't do anything about it. I'm actively trying to manage it with lifestyle changes. I monitor it regularly and have a solid plan to keep it optimal. I would say most people I talk to, I ask them what's their blood pressure. They don't know. My book explains that a high VO2 max makes your blood less sticky and prone to clotting. How would you describe your weekly activity levels? Sedentary, light activity, slow walking, a mix of light and moderate activity, regular and moderate vigorous activity. Let's be generous and say a mix of light and moderate activity. Chronic stress elevates something called cortisol, which can damage your cardiovascular system, your arteries and your heart. What is your go-to stress management technique? I don't have one. Unwinding the TV in front of the TV or food or drink, that's going to be the common one. Occasionally walks or deep breathing, a consistent practice of vigorous exercise, meditation or journaling. That one, unwinding with TV, food or drink. That's most people. Sleep is critical for cardiovascular repair. How many nights a week do you get 7 to 8 hours of sleep? Never, few nights, most nights, consistently. All right, let's go most nights, just for this example. Smoking has a hazard ratio of 2.0, but a low oxygen efficiency has a hazard ratio of 5.0. If you don't smoke, how seriously do you take your fitness level in comparison? So let's assume you're not a smoker. Do you have a dedicated routine to raise your oxygen efficiency score into as high as possible, incrementally increasing it? Do you even know how to? I don't smoke, so I feel I'm already safe. I know fitness is important, but I don't treat it with that level of urgency. Having a high oxygen efficiency score gives you more than double the benefit of someone who is a smoker. That's the data. This comparison makes me realize I need to prioritize fitness much more. I treat my fitness with the same seriousness as avoiding smoking. That's me. Let's see, what would the average person choose? I know fitness is important, but I don't treat it with the level of urgency. I didn't know. Most people have no idea that it's twice as powerful to raise your oxygen efficiency score compared to being a smoker. My father died from a heart attack at 46 years old. He actually did pass away at that age from a heart attack. The book is about learning from the past. How does family history motivate your approach to your own heart health? It doesn't. I feel like genetics are my destiny. It worries me, but I don't know what to do about it. It motivates me to be proactive and take control. It's my primary driver for becoming a longevity builder. For most people, it does worry them, but most people don't know what to do about genetics. The author, that's me, describes my journey from a high-risk state, my cardiovascular system used to be a mess, to a low-risk one. I did that through using the longevity builder tactics that you're going to get a hold of if you want to. Despite my genetics, do you believe you have the power to fundamentally change your heart disease risk? No, I feel my risk is fixed. I'm not sure what's possible. I believe I can make a significant difference. I believe I'm the primary architect of my own health outcomes. Most people, they're not sure what's possible. I know that from the conversations I have with adults around the world. Becoming a longevity builder is an identity shift. When it comes to heart health, where do you see yourself? This is question 15 of 16. As a passive passenger, hoping for the best. As a concerned observer, worried about my risk. As an active participant, taking steps to lower my risk. As the builder, actively constructing a resilient cardiovascular system. Most people concerned and worried about their risk. Last question. A high VO2 max provides a 400% advantage in survival. We know that from medical research. How does knowing this specific number change your perspective on the importance of fitness? I'm 59. If my VO2 max score, oxygen efficiency, was in the bottom 25% of my age and gender, so there's a table in my book. If I'm in the bottom 25% and I'm compared to the top 2.5% in my age and gender, so if you're in your 20s, your score will be different than mine, but your profile will be different in terms of where you sit based on that score. So if I was low, say 28 milliliters per kilogram per minute, that's low for my age. But compared to a person who's got 45 milliliters per kilogram per minute, I have a 400% more chance of dying that year than they do. They have a 400% advantage in survival. So now you know that. It's just another number to me. It's surprising, but I'm not sure what to do with it. It's a powerful motivator to take my fitness more seriously. It's a game changer. It makes my fitness an undisputed top priority. For most people, they're very surprised at that, but they're not sure what to do with it. And that's why I'm building the Longevity Builder ecosystem. Right, my name and email are there. See my score and get my plan. Let's have a little look here. All right, this is fantastic. So the longevity score is 34 out of 100 for this imaginary person. That puts them at a high risk. Score indicates a significant opportunity for improvement. The good news is that by focusing on the one single tactic that we talk about in the book and the health lab, you can make rapid progress. Your initial concern in this imaginary person was with heart attack and stroke risk, and your personalized resources below. It's the first perfect first step. So here's a free resource. You would click on this resource, and I will give you what I call a masterclass in reversing heart disease as a thank you for taking this particular assessment, the Longevity Catalyst Scorecard. So the Longevity Builder Health Lab, the world's first system that combines a revolutionary tracking technology with a powerful AI learning and learning content that I've put in there as well, ecosystem, guaranteeing you'll lower your clinical risk of premature death. That's the goal of being a longevity builder. There's a couple of tabs here. The problem, you're fighting the wrong war. You can read that yourself when you come to the Longevity Scorecard. The solution, a simple 3-step system to take control. Once the Longevity Builder book and the health lab are out, we're going to help diagnose you, not diagnose you from a medical point of view. We're going to help you to see where you are from an education point of view, because I'm not a doctor. I'm just an educator. Then you're going to learn through the blueprint that's inside the Longevity Builder book and health lab. And then we're going to give you a tracking tool to track your longevity in real time. So that's the Longevity Catalyst Scorecard. It's the advanced version. Can't wait for you to try it out. We've got a lot more tools like this are going to be available for you inside the Longevity Builder Health Lab. More advanced tools than this one that you've just seen. These are basic just for the general public, but once you're into it, there's some really cool things we're putting together. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me this episode. See you at the next one soon. Bye for now.